Hello yarn besties, I am the Crafty Crocheter, and if you like what you're seeing in this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that notification bell so you get notified when new videos come out, and if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and become a yarn bestie today. Don't forget to hype this video, share this video, and recommend the channel to all your family and friends. Alright, so this is an impromptu tutorial. I know it's not Tuesday, but I felt like creating one and uploading one because I got a comment earlier for my gnome project that they were having an issue with the leaves as for the pattern. So I decided to work one up and then share the pattern with you for the tutorial. So, and this is part of the Gnome Wall Hanging project that I'm working on. So feel free to check out the video up there, and I'll also leave a link for it in the description below. All right, so I'm going to show you how to work this easy to do leaf. I know it may looks a little complicated, but after a few tries, I had to read over the pattern a couple times myself and get it down, but I got it mastered, and now I'm going to show you how to master it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and let's get started with this. All right, then you're going to need your crochet hook as normal. This is a 5.0 millimeter that you're going to be using for the entire project. And you're also going to need a stitch marker. And then also in the video, I'm going to go over some of the special stitches that are in the pattern as well, and I'll show you how to do those as well. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and create the magic ring. I tried doing this with the slip knot, the chain 2, and do the single crochets, but the magic ring seemed to work a lot easier because you get this nice little tight little seal around the middle for round 1. All right, so I'm going to show you how I like to do how to work the magic ring. So what I do is I'll take the strand of yarn, pinch it between my middle finger and my thumb, and then I will wrap it around like so. And so you have the 2 strands of yarn on top. Then I will take my crochet hook, go underneath this first strand, and then snag it over the second strand and pull through and twist. Then you're just going to close it off with a chain stitch for the single crochet. And now let's start round 1. So to start round 1, you're basically going to crochet 10 single crochets into this ring opening. So I'll work for a couple with you. So this is going to be number 1, and I like to mark off my first stitch with the stitch marker so I don't lose my place, because you're going to be slip joining to this when you move on to the second round. All right, so I'm going to do a couple more. 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'm going to do the rest of this off camera. Then I'm going to show you how to end round 1 and move on to round 2. All right, so we're at the end of round 1. So before we slip join, you're going to take this extra tail that you made from the magic ring, and you're just going to pull it as tight as you possibly can. And then you see how that kind of has a nice little tight seal right there in the middle of round 1. Then you're going to take a crochet hook, go into the first stitch of round 1, and you're just going to slip join. So I take my stitch marker out. Then you're just going to slip join these 2 together. So take your yarn and go through this loop and this loop, and you just successfully slip joined for round 1. So now we're going to go ahead and start on round 2. Now to start round 2, go ahead and you're going to chain 1. And for round 2, you're basically going to perform an increase in every single stitch around. So what do I mean by increase? For an increase, you're just going to go ahead and work 2 stitches at 2 single crochets into the same stitch. That is an increase. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my crochet hook into the first stitch and work a single crochet. And again, I like to mark off my very first stitch so I don't lose my spot, because again, you're going to slip join into this at the end of round 2. So then we did our first single crochet, then go into that same stitch and work your second single crochet. And then you're going to do this for every single stitch all the way around, and you should have 20 stitches all the way around. So, and I like to count as I go along so that way I don't lose my spot. I'll do another increase with you. So this is going to be go into the next stitch, work a single crochet, go into that same stitch, and work your second double crochet. And this is so far is 4 stitches. So again, you're going to repeat this for every single stitch all the way around, and make sure you're counting as you go along. And you should have 20 stitches at the end of round 2. So I'm going to work the rest of this off camera, and then I'm going to show you how to end round 2, and then we're going to move on to round 3. All right, so we're nearing the end of round 2, and again, I like to pull this a little bit so it's tight enough. So then, as you did with round 1, you're going to take your crochet hook and go into the very first stitch of round 2, remove the stitch marker, and you're not going to need this anymore on the 3rd round. Then again, as you did with round 1, you're going to slip join to finish off round 2. So, and then you just completed round 2. All right, so now round 3 is where the special stitches come into play. So as I encounter each stitch, I will explain what they are. All right, so the first special stitch we're going to do for round 3 is what's known as a chain picot triple crochet. So what I mean by that is, for the chain part, you're going to go ahead and you're going to chain 6. All right, that is your chain portion. Next is the picot version. So for the picot, you're going to insert your crochet hook into the 3rd chain from hook. So 1, 2, 3, insert your crochet hook into that stitch, and then you're going to do what's known as a slip stitch to finish off the picot. So you're just going to take that yarn and go through both of these loops. All right, and that is your picot stitch all completed. So next is the triple crochet. So you're going to yarn over twice, and you're going to go into the next single crochet stitch of the round, and you're going to work your triple crochet. And I'll work another, then the next you're going to work another triple crochet into the next single crochet stitch, and I'll explain what the triple crochet is. So you're going to yarn over twice, go into the next stitch of the round, pull that yarn through, then you're going to have 4 loops on your hook, and then yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, go through the next 2 loops, and yarn over and go through the final 2 loops. All right, so then next we're going to work what is called a DTR fan, which means you're going to be working 2 double triple crochets, or I like to call them quadruple crochets, into the same stitch. So I'll show you that right now. Go ahead and yarn over 3 times for your quadruple crochet, then you're going to go into the next stitch and work your quadruple. Same as the triple, but you're doing this 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to work the picot stitch. So you're going to chain 3, and then insert your crochet hook into the 3rd chain from hook. Then you're going to take your working yarn and pull that through both of these loops. That is your DTR picot. Then after you get that picot stitch done, you're going to work the second quadruple crochet. So yarn over 3 times, and then go into that same stitch as the first quadruple crochet, and you're going to work another quadruple crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next, we're going to work a triple crochet into the next single crochet stitch of the round. So yarn over twice, go into the next single crochet stitch of that round, and work your triple crochet. And before I move on into the video, let me explain that all of the stitches that I use in this video are using US terms, in case anyone from the UK is watching this and are a little thrown off by what stitches I am meaning. So I am using US terms. Then after you finish your first triple crochet, then you're going to work what's known as a 2TR picot stitch. So you're going to yarn over twice, work your triple crochet into the next single crochet stitch of the round. 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to chain 3, and then insert your crochet hook into the 3rd chain, and you're going to make your picot stitch. So then you got your 2 loops on the hook, and then pull that yarn through both of the loops. Then as your picot, and then you're going to work your second triple crochet into the same stitch. So go into that same stitch and work your second triple crochet. All right. Then after you get that second triple crochet done, you're going to go into the very next single crochet stitch of the round and work what's known as a slip stitch. So insert your crochet hook into the next single crochet from the round and slip stitch that through both. And that is your first leaf, part of the leaf. And you're going to repeat this 2 more times. But I'll do another repeat with you, then I'll let you finish the third one on your own. Now, at any time in this video you have a problem knowing where to put the crochet hook and what stitch to do, feel free to rewind the video to the point where you're having the issue and go from there. All right, so I'm going to do the second repeat with you, and then, as I said, I'll let you finish off the third one on your own. So after you get that slip stitch done, you're going to chain 6 again. Insert your crochet hook into the 3rd chain from the hook, and then you're going to work your picot stitch. Yarn over twice, and then go into the next single crochet stitch and work your triple crochet. Right, then yarn over twice again, and you're going to go into the very next single crochet stitch of this previous round and work your triple crochet. Then you're going to do your DTR fan picot stitch. So yarn over 3 times to do your quadruple crochet. Go into the very next single crochet stitch and work your first quadruple crochet or your double treble. Well, in the UK it would be a triple treble, but I just call them quadruple crochets because you're doing it 4 times. All right, then after you get the first quadruple done, chain 3, and then insert your crochet hook into the 3rd chain from hook, and then you're going to work your picot stitch. So again, you got your 2 loops on the hook, and take your working yarn and pull that through both loops. And this is your picot stitch. Then you're going to complete your second quadruple crochet. So yarn over 3 times, go into that very same stitch as the first quadruple crochet, and you're going to work the second one. Then you're going to work a triple crochet into the very next single crochet stitch. Then you're going to do your 2 TR picot stitch, or your 2 triple crochet and picot stitch. So yarn over twice, go into the very next single crochet stitch and work your first triple crochet. Then you're going to chain 3, insert your crochet hook into the 3rd chain from hook, and then you're going to work your picot stitch and pull that through both loops, and that's your picot. Then yarn over twice and then go into the same stitch as the first triple crochet and work your second triple crochet. All right, then this is the second leaf all finished. So to finish this off, you're going to slip stitch into the very next single crochet from round 2. All right, and this is what it looks like so far, and you've got to do this one more time. So I'm going to work with this off camera, then I'm going to show you how to work the stem and finish off this round. All right, so I just finished the third leaf portion of this entire leaf. So, and I just did my slip stitch into that available single crochet stitch. So before you do the slip stitch, there should be 3 single crochet stitches remaining on the round. So to work the stem, take your crochet hook and perform another slip stitch into that center. See how there's the 3 here? I already did the slip into this first one. So go into that second one and work another slip stitch. Then to make the stem, you're going to chain 5. Then you're going to insert your crochet hook into the second chain from hook and work a slip stitch. And then you're going to do the same thing for the remaining 3 stitches. Or 3 remaining chains. So do the slip stitch. So you're performing the slip stitch for a total of 4 times. All right, so I just completed that. So to finish this off, go into the very next single crochet stitch of the round, and you're going to slip stitch. All right, then to finish it off, you're going to insert your crochet hook into the beginning chain of round 3. So do the best you can to find that chain on the bottom and insert your crochet hook into that, because you're going to do a slip join into that stitch. And once you have that on there, just go ahead and work your slip stitch onto there and then fasten off. Now the way I like to fasten off is, and I learned this from Creative Grandma, is to chain 2, and then I'll get a pair of scissors, and you're not going to need a very long tail, but snip off enough. And then you're going to take your crochet hook, then you're going to pinch this bottom piece and pull this tail, and what that does, it creates a secure knot. And that is the completed leaf for your gnome project. Now, I did a little bit of research and calculations for each leaf in case you are wondering if you're going to have enough yarn for each leaf. Now, each leaf weighs 4 grams, and for the project, you're going to need 7 of each color, 7 of the yellow, 7 of the orange, and 7 of the red. So for 7 leaves, you're going to need at least 28 grams of yarn. But I will give a little more in case you are a looser crocheter than I am. So that is how you make the leaf. And then to finish it off, what I like to do is make sure you get this part nice and tight, and then I'll take this extra tail and I'll just loosely tie this, because you're going to join this to the back of the plastic canvas anyway, so this isn't going to be seen. So I like to do this at least 3 times to get that nice and secure. All right, and like I said, I leave these tails on because you're going to be joining this to the plastic canvas later on anyway during assembly. All right, and then now side by side, these look identical. Of course, this depends if you're a looser crocheter than I am. I'm more of a tight crocheter. If you need to adjust your tension, go ahead. Or if you need to move down a crochet hook size, that's fine as well. And that is how you work the leaves for the gnome project. This is the Crafty Crocheter. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting.